How's it going, my peeps? It is now time for the TLC Tables, Ladders, and Chairs 2013 prediction game video. In the background is a simulation of the main event you're going to see this Sunday at TLC. It is going to be the WWE Champion Randy Orton facing off against the World Heavyweight Champion John Cena in a champion versus champion match, but not just any champion versus champion match. You see, this is an actual title match where both championships are going to be on the line, and not just any match, in a TLC match. So they've got to climb up the ladder, grab both titles, and there you have it. You have one champion. There's no longer going to be, if everything goes accordingly, you know, if somebody wins a matchup, there's only going to be one champion. It's no longer going to be the case where there's a World Heavyweight Champion and a WWE Champion. So this is big. This is an important matchup, and you know, TLC isn't regarded as one of, you know, WWE's top pay-per-views. It isn't regarded as one of their most important pay-per-views. And, you know, it's well known that their most important pay-per-views, their top pay-per-views, are Survivor Series, SummerSlam, the Rumble, and WrestleMania. But with a matchup this big at TLC, at least this TLC 2013, has to be considered one of the most important events yet. This matchup is one of the most important matchups yet. You know, some people might not like John Cena, or you might not like Randy, but come on, guys, this is a title unification match. We've had two championships, we've had two champions for, what now, 10 years or so, and this Sunday, it's no longer going to be the case. And, you know, TLC, usually you have a tables, ladders, and chairs match, which, you know, they're having, which is, you know, this matchup right here. And usually they also have, like, a tables match, a ladder match, and a chairs match. This year, though, there is no chairs match, tables match, or ladder match. There's only this tables, ladders, and chairs match. I was going into this, I was expecting that there would be, you know, those matches. But then once CM Punk versus The Shield got announced, and also Daniel Bryan versus the Wyatts got announced, and no stipulations were announced for those matchups, I kind of figured, or, you know, I kind of guessed that, you know what, I think they won't be having those stipulations in this year's TLC. Because usually for every single pay-per-view, you've got three top matches, three main event matches. For instance, Survivor Series, you had Randy versus The Big Show, which was the main event. You had John Cena versus Del Rio for the World Heavyweight Championship. And you also had CM Punk and Daniel Bryan versus the Wyatt family. And also at Hell in a Cell, you had Randy versus Daniel Bryan, Hell in a Cell. You had the World Heavyweight Championship match, John Cena versus Del Rio. And you also had CM Punk versus Ryback inside Hell in a Cell. And usually, when there are these types of stipulations on the TLC pay-per-view, it's usually for the top matches. It's usually for the main attractions, the main events. And in this case, the two other main events, the two other main matches involving Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, they're regular matches, or at least regular handicap matches. But thinking about it, I don't really mind in this case, because the match that is using these, you know, the ladders, the chairs, the tables in this case, this Sunday, the main event is just an epic main event. You know, it is the biggest match in I don't know how long, in a long time. It is definitely going to be like the biggest matchup this year, and for a long ass time. It is going to go down in history because titles are going to be unified. So, anyways, let's actually get down to the predictions here. As always, I'll go over my predictions for every single matchup in this video. And then, in the simulations of the other matches, I'm going to go into more detail on my prediction, telling you guys why I picked who I picked, going into more detail, you know, a more in-depth prediction. So, let's get this started with the kickoff matchup. It is going to be Dolph Ziggler versus Fandango, which you know, is it's good timing, because you know, for the Fandango DLC just came out, so you can easily simulate that matchup. And as far as who I think is going to win the kickoff match, I'm going to go with Dolph Ziggler on this one. This is probably, in my opinion, the easiest match to predict on the entire card. And then, after that, you've got the Intercontinental Championship matchup. The champion, Big E Langston, defending against #1 contender, Damien Sandow. Now, this matchup, of course, Damien Sandow got the shot at the championship by beating Dolph Ziggler in a one-on-one matchup. And now, he's facing off against Big E Langston this Sunday. So, who do I think is going to win this matchup? This was also an easy one to predict. I'm going to go with Big E Langston winning this one and retaining his title. Following that, you've got the Divas Championship match. AJ Lee defends against Natalya. Now, this one I will say, this was not easy to predict. And while I am picking somebody, I could still see the other person winning the championship. And I'm going to go into more detail on that, of course, in my simulation of the Divas Championship match. And if you guys watch my previous prediction game videos for like Hell in a Cell, Survivor Series, I've stated numerous times that once AJ Lee loses the championship, or if AJ Lee loses the championship to a total diva, that I think it'd be Natalya. And you might find this interesting that I'm actually not going to go with Natalya here. But, like I said, I'm not ruling out a victory from Natalya. I could definitely see that taking place. But I do have to pick somebody, and I'm leaning towards AJ Lee a little bit more, so I'm going to go with AJ Lee. Anyways, after that, you got a Tag Team Championship matchup. It is going to be the champions, Goldust and Cody Rhodes, the Rhodes brothers, or actually in the latest backstage Fallout video, Goldust referred to himself and Cody as the Brotherhood, so I'm not sure what the team name is. Might just be Cody and Goldust. Anyway, so Cody and Goldust versus Rey Mysterio and the Big Show versus Ryback and Curtis Axel, and that's not all. Also versus the Real Americans. So it is a fatal 4-way tag team championship matchup. Now, I would have loved to see this match in a ladder match stipulation, but like I said, it seems like at TLC this year, there's only one matchup that uses the TLC stipulations, or uses, you know, those weapons. But, nonetheless, this should be an interesting matchup, and Cody and Goldust, so far, you know, they've delivered every single time on pay-per-view. You know, whenever they have a tag team matchup, they have a good tag team matchup. And, I almost forgot there to actually pick a winner. I'm actually going to go with Cody and Goldust retaining their tag team titles. So far, I didn't predict a single title change. But, like I said, the Divas Championship matchup, I could potentially see a title change there. But I don't want to talk too much about that. Like I said, I'm going with AJ Lee on that one. And with this one, with the Tag Team Championship match, I'm going to go with Cody and Goldust. Following that, you've got CM Punk versus The Shield in a 3-on-1 handicap matchup. Now this match, I've got to say, this was also a hard match to predict. I didn't know who to pick. I spent a while thinking, you know, who's going to win this matchup? Does CM Punk win? Does The Shield win? It was a tough match to predict. And it's probably, for me, was probably the hardest match to predict on this card. This one, along with the Divas Championship matchup. But, you know what? In the end, I'm going to go with The Shield as the winners of this matchup. But, just like the Divas Championship match, it wouldn't be a total shocker if, you know, CM Punk wins the matchup. Wouldn't be, you know, surprised or anything like that. So I'm sticking with The Shield on this one. But, it's a very unpredictable matchup. And then, when it comes to the second 3-on-1 handicap match on the card, Daniel Bryan versus the Wyatt family. This one was actually a lot easier to predict. The funny thing is, they're both 3-on-1 handicap matches, but one of them was, to me, a lot harder to predict, you know, the CM Punk vs. Shield match, while the other one, Daniel Bryan vs. the Wyatt family, I thought was really easy to predict. I didn't think about it too much like this, you know, the other handicap match show. So, as far as this 3-on-1 handicap match goes, I'm going to go with the Wyatt family picking up the victory. And then, the big matchup, the main event, the matchup I'm interested in seeing the most, the World Heavyweight Champion John Cena taking on the WWE Champion Randy Orton in a tables, ladders, and chairs match for both titles. Now with this one, I also went back and forth, you know, wondering whether John Cena takes this one or Randy takes this one. And I know some people are saying maybe Triple H wins the matchup, but he's not even in the match. I'll talk about that or go into more detail on that in the part 2 of this video. But yeah, as far as this match goes and the winner, it's a tough match to predict. Maybe not as tough as the CM Punk vs. Shield match in my opinion. But in the end, I'm going to go with Randy winning this matchup and walking away with both championships. So, that is it for my predictions for the TLC pay-per-view. Now it's time for you guys to give me your predictions in the comment section below. And I'll list all the matches in the description box so you guys can easily, you know, give me your predictions. And that is pretty much it. Stay tuned for part 2 of this simulation as well as the other prediction game videos where I'll go into more detail on each one of the predictions I went over in this video. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, as always, you can click that like button down below. And with that said, I'm out guys, see ya.